Hey guys, welcome back to the Candle Channel, and today we're going to be reviewing the Champagne Apple and Honey candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the late summer, early fall collection, and that's what that looks like right there. It does have a wraparound on it, and it has this lid on it right here. In some stores I did see that it had a different silver lid on it rather than the white ones that matched all the other ones, but it is what it is. This one says Pink Lady Apple, Sparkling Champagne, and Jasmine Honey. So if you recall, this came out I believe last year as an online exclusive. I did not pick it up because it was after lockdown from COVID, and I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just wasn't buying as many candles, so I did not buy it online as an online exclusive. But then when I saw that it would be releasing to all stores this year, I was excited to see it because I really want to try it and smell it. As you know, I really do enjoy a lot of the body care fragrances going into home fragrance, so I definitely took this opportunity to try the Champagne Apple and Honey right there. This originally came out in, oh geez, I don't even know, what is this, 2015 maybe? Right here is the body care of it. I was just always lukewarm on this. It's a pleasant fragrance, but nothing that's oh my god, wow for me. It has pretty much the same notes in there. It's just a pretty simple, straightforward apple fragrance that has a little bit, just a very small hint of a sweetness from the honey that gives it a natural sweetness that just makes it a little bit more juicy and amped up. The champagne in the shower gel is a little bit more present in the sense that it gives it this slightly sparkling, dry feel to it that evokes, I guess, champagne, and it gives it this slight, just sparkling, slightly bitter feel to it as well that kind of tempers the apple and the honey notes from being overly sweet. And it kind of gives it this sort of, once again, a dryness, or just it balances out the apple and honey notes. And it was just decent. It's just a nice straightforward apple fragrance. Nothing too groundbreaking, at least for me. And then so I wanted to try the candle. I've burned this one, I believe, 3 times. It had a little bit of a slower burn, but it still did fine. It didn't soot too much. It has the core wicks, a smaller variety of the core wicks. It makes mushroom tops, so I would make sure to trim those. And so what does it smell like? I feel like this is much fruitier and sweeter and juicier than the shower gel, at least from this year is. I still get a same Pink Lady Apple is listed here first, and it's that same Pink Lady Apple that's in Pink Apple Punch, Wasabi Apple, Green Apple Orchard. And I was also comparing it to Aloha Kiwi Passion Fruit. Has a similar artificial, fruity fragrance to it. It's not as artificial or just intense as those that I just listed, and I think it's probably the most pleasant version of that Pink Lady Apple to show up in any of their candles, because I really just, personally, I just really don't enjoy that Pink Lady Apple fragrance. It's just a very artificial, almost like a candied, chew type of feel to it. It mixed with all the other tropical notes and whatever else Wasabi Apple and all that stuff had going on. It was just way too much. It smelled way too artificial and just not authentic and real, and I didn't love it. But this, it's actually decent in this version, at least in my opinion. It's the most tolerable for me to smell that Pink Lady Apple, but it is that same Pink Lady Apple that you get in Pink Apple Punch, so if you enjoy that, I think you'll enjoy this as well. And instead of it being added with other, even more artificial tropical fruit notes, as would be the case in Pink Apple Punch or Aloha Kiwi Passion Fruit, it gives it a more natural vibe to it because there is that honey in there, and so the honey, it's not as, once again, urine-y as I like to describe honey fragrances. It's nowhere near as strong as the honey that's in Sweet Honeybee or Honey Tangerine. It's not even as strong as the honey that's in Honey Wildflower. Honey Wildflower is more so a first and foremost honey fragrance. This just, it gives it a very subtle, sweet, natural sweetness in there that makes it a little bit juicy and bright. And it's definitely more in the background, but it's noticeable, and it does a lot to make the apple a little bit more fresh and juicy and sweet, but also without making it that kind of moldy apple that shows up in the later versions of Heirloom Apple or Honeycrisp Apple or Farm Stand Apple, Gingham Apple, American Apple. It doesn't have that earthy, moldiness as I like to describe it, but I think a lot of people who do enjoy describe it as more as a dewy, natural fragrance, but for me it comes off sort of moldy, and I don't like that, and this does not have that, so I appreciate that because once again it's that sort of sweeter Pink Lady Apple variety mixed with a very subtle, sweet, naturally sweet honey note is what I get after that. And then you do get a little bit of champagne. Once again, it just gives it a very slight, dry, sparkling effervescence that sort of just balances the fragrance out. But the champagne note, I do not believe is as strong in the candle as it is in this. This one, because the champagne is a little bit more present, it's not as sweet and drippy, I don't know, drippy sweet and syrupy in the shower gel. It's more drippy, sweet, syrupy in the candle. And actually, when you burn the candle, it comes off a lot sweeter, at least in my opinion, than the, I mean, they're still the same fragrance, I'm just nitpicking it, but it does come off more sweeter than the shower gel counterpart, at least for me, from the 2015 version. It's actually quite sweet, and because the apple is so sweet and the honey does give it a little bit of sweetness, it almost comes off more as like a summer tropical fragrance to me. It could be like a tropical like apple punch drink, kind of like pink apple punch, but a more natural and tolerable version or variation of pink apple punch. But it comes off very sweet and juicy and syrupy, and it kind of smells, it does smell like some type of like apple drink or apple cocktail or something, because it is so sweet. There's a very like apple juice component to it. And that's pretty much what Champagne Apple Honey smells like to me. And that is Champagne Apple and Honey to me. Going on to the performance, this was just a very medium throw. I have to be honest and say that I'm not having a whole lot of luck with finding the grand throw of these candles in a lot of the fall lineup so far. Many of them I kind of struggle smelling an open concept area, and this was no exception. This one I burned 3 or 4 times, and I had it in an open concept area, and it was very light. I would say no more than like a 4 or a 5. I had it in a smaller bedroom, and I could smell it more up to a 6, so it just hovers in a very like just medium range, and that's all I got from it. I do wish it was a little bit stronger. I wish I could smell it a little bit better in like a living room area, but I could smell it pleasant enough as just a very, very medium in a smaller bedroom, but it will probably get lost in a open concept area, so there was that. And for all those reasons, I don't think it would be a repurchase for me. The fragrance is very, once again, objectively pleasant, and I don't mind it, and it's one of the better apple fragrances in my opinion, and it's definitely like a nice, like I guess, transitional summer into fall fragrance, but it's not just like my favorite fragrance out there. It's kind of just, you know, a standard apple fragrance in my opinion, and the throw also is not very strong that I wouldn't ever be compelled to repurchase this or hoard this by any means, so I'm just fine with it as being a one and done fragrance. So that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Champagne Apple and Honey down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.